Hello everyone, Scott here from Acres of Diamond Community. I'm here with Acres of Diamond's co-founder DJ Liguori, and we were talking about last week's videos. And I asked DJ, I said, "How do you think it went last week, DJ? How are the videos?" And he was, he's pretty honest and candid. He said, "Well, Coach Gibbs," he said, "I was pretty good," but he said, "Coach Gibbs, you weren't very good. You weren't very good."
It wasn't that bad. I wasn't that mean.
It was actually
Honesty's important.
honesty and
Yes.
transparency and authenticity is important in communication. So DJ
Yes.
did that, and I promised him I'd be better this week. So I'm gonna start there. So thank you, DJ.
Yes.
Thank you for your feedback, and the way you deliver it was very kind and
Genuine.
Yes, it was very helpful.
Yes.
And then I asked him after I got done crying and wiping the tears off my face, DJ, what did you think a good topic for this week would be? And he said confidence. And we talked a little bit more about it, and I said for sure, or we agreed for sure that we're living in uncertain times right now. And we don't know about all of you that are listening, because we don't know who's going to actually listen or watch.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the two of us and our
Yep.
parents. That could be.
People we forced to go watch. They can watch.
People we forced to go watch.
Yeah.
But our confidence has been shaken. DJ's confidence has been shaken. We're going to talk about that. My confidence has been shaken in ways that I wish I could control, but haven't. At the same time, we are completely aware and conscious that our confidence has been shaken. We know why. We know it's the COVID-19. We know it's the inundation of 24/7, 365 negative media and the mental McDonald's that
A lot of it.
A lot of it's the mental McDonald's that we're forced to consume from our media. And look, we all know that if we feed our bodies McDonald's, bad stuff, our bodies are going to feel bad. It's no different for the mental aspect. So our confidence has been shaken because of that. And we're going to be talking about that today and what that means. And before we get into DJ's kind of summary of the situation, we've spent the last year talking about confidence. For us is not new.
No.
We've spent the last 3 years actually speaking with middle school kids, speaking with high school kids, college kids, early career, and even executive leaders. And what we found is that in every single group, there's some type of confidence, self-confidence, self-doubt challenge that the people are having. And I can tell you personally, 2007, 2008, I really struggled with my self-confidence, and I thought I was the only one, and found out that wasn't true. I can only imagine what the current situation is with all of you.
Yeah. Especially now.
Especially given the current situation, especially given the 24/7, 365 news coverage and mental McDonald's that they're feeding us. So with that in mind, I would like Professor Liguori, not nutty Professor Liguori, although
we just ate $25 for the cashews.
we
in the
did,
kitchen.
we did clean off and polish off $25.
They were good.
They were good.
They were needed.
They were good,
100%.
and so we have enough energy to walk us through this. So
Yeah.
he's going to walk us through what he's calling his pandemic progress plan. It's very interesting, and to be completely above board and candid, it's a model that I stole from LinkedIn. I stole it from LinkedIn on Friday or Saturday morning. So not original content, but it fits very well with the model that we talk to with many of our clients on a very, very frequent basis. So DJ, you want to walk us through what you're thinking about this?
Yes, definitely. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about 3 different areas that we can be living right now in this environment of this COVID-19 environment. And those 3 areas are the fear zone, so when we're scared of something, the learning zone, an opportunity to grow, and then the growth zone, when you're actually growing. And so what we have here is we have this model that we created, or we copied from
that we copied from
LinkedIn.
somebody and we're using.
Yes, but we can explain it here. Here's our platform to do so. And so basically put, if you are living in the fear zone, you are currently, you're hoarding a lot of food, toiletries, things you might not necessarily ever use. I mean, we've been going to Wegmans and the shelves are completely wiped out. You are consuming bad things, bad emotions, and you're transmitting those to others. You're complaining a lot about the situation that all of us are in.
Right.
And because of that, you're in an area of fear. You don't feel good when you're doing all of that. So you're, to your mental McDonald's point, we're putting that bad mental McDonald's into us and we're getting bad out. Bad is that fear.
Right. So essentially you're imagining a bad future, right?
Which is stress, essentially, in its simplest term. You're thinking of a bad outcome. And when you say I'm stressed, you're typically scared too. It's a fear, it's a stress,
right?
Because you're thinking of a bad outcome. So that's the fear zone that many people could currently be living in,
right?
Which is understandable,
yeah,
because we're in an uncertain time, as we mentioned. The second one is the learning zone. And
so DJ, I'm going to give you feedback now, real time, instead of waiting a week. And correct. So keep looking at the camera. Look at me. Quit looking back at the board.
I'm just trying to have a full blown, a full blown array here.
All right.
The learning zone is the second area that you can be living in currently. And during the learning zone, you stop compulsively consuming things that might harm you, meaning bad news, bad food. As we said, put bad in, get bad out.
Right.
So we can drift ourselves into more of a positive consumption. We start letting go of things that are out of our control, and we actually start to think of the way that we're feeling when we actually bring in a good emotion, bring in some sort of happiness, bring in some sort of joy or some sort of success.
So consciously schedule those things in your life.
Consciously think of, maybe you eat something that's really good. Oh, that made me feel good.
Okay, gotcha.
Really get yourself into the actual emotion of feeling happy or feeling satisfied. You make yourself aware of the situation and think about the best way to act. Right now we are currently completely aware now of COVID-19, and we have taken action such as using hand sanitizer, socially distancing ourselves from people. All these various things that we are now aware of that we continuously do.
Right.
So we are now in that stage of learning how to do that.
That makes sense.
We verify information before we share it. We're not necessarily getting everything and saying, oh my God, this is awful, I have to send this to everybody.
Right.
There's your forward all bad messages to others, when it might be totally incorrect. So you're verifying the credibility of what you're actually receiving. And you understand that everybody's actually trying their best.
So to that point, you don't necessarily want to contribute to the stress. You don't want to contribute to the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, unnecessarily by forwarding more negative information.
You could really mess someone up.
Yeah.
If you send them
especially if it's not true.
Especially if it's not true. Which is really, then you might lead them right back into fear, even if they're consciously trying to learn.
Right, if they're trying to pull themselves out.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
One little thing could really drift them back into a very fearful zone. I mean, I was listening to Trevor Moa, and he was talking about the neutral thinking, and they were testing if positive thinking really worked. They weren't quite sure, but they 100% knew negative thinking worked.
That's right.
And it's very easy to realize that negative thinking can easily pull you back. But positive thinking and neutral thinking is much more difficult to practice.
Yeah, that's a great point. So that's something I've come to realize through all this. The first realization I came was March 14th and 15th. We had not taken the pandemic very seriously at that point, and because candidly we think our family's going to be fine. We're very, very healthy. We don't get sick. Our immunity systems are very, very good. And we were sitting in the driveway of my 89-year-old mother-in-law on the 15th, on March 15th, and we almost didn't go in. The reason we didn't go in wasn't because fear for ourselves, but fear for her. And that's what this is kind of reminded me of. It's not just about me and my fears. It's about making sure that I'm not passing off my emotions to other people, good or not bad emotions off to other people, right?
Yes.
Or in any way, shape, or form, creating stress for other people.
Yes.
I should be trying to uplift, inspire, and motivate other people that there is a hopeful future in front of us, right?
And to this point, acknowledge that people are trying their best. acknowledge that people are actually, maybe you see someone use a hand sanitizer. Hey, I saw that.
Nice job.
Nice job. Maybe give them a little compliment. Something
Right.
something simple like that. I mean, my boss a couple days ago, he went down to our machine assembly floor and cleaned half of the products that were being used.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow, that was really extremely aware, extremely conscious. And he came back and I was like, did you just go clean all that stuff? He's like, yeah. He's like, there's nobody down there because half of the people have left. He's like, I thought it would possibly make something better.
Yeah, that's great
That was
leadership.
awesome. I was
That's
like,
awesome.
that was a simple little thing that went very far. So that's the second zone that people can be living in, is this learning zone. The last is the best one, the growth zone. This is an area of where you are at point A and you want to get to point B. This is what you know, these are the things you should be practicing on a daily basis. Finding a purpose, thinking of how you can actually help others. Maybe somebody's extremely in the fear zone. Hey, listen, we're all constantly working together to make sure that this gets better. All right, so you're helping that other individual. You're showing empathy to yourself and others. And I had a great conversation with one of our clients this week, the difference of empathy versus self-care. And we had this debate of which one was more important.
So what was the answer?
And so initially when I asked her the question, and we both, I said, I'm going to answer it too, so don't think it's just on you, because I've never been asked this question, I've never thought about it. And it took us about 2 to 3 minutes to come up with a good answer, and we realized that self-care was more important, because if you take care of yourself, now you are in a stable environment, and now I have the opportunity to possibly help others. Okay?
Nice.
So we thought that was important. So that's a growth zone area.
So that's kind of like the oxygen mask falling down from
Exactly.
the stewardess or steward tells you, put the oxygen mask on yourself before you put it on.
Before you help others.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So while you continue to live in the growth zone, you're living in the present and you're focusing on the future. So you are aware of the present and you're focusing on, hey, I can't wait till 2 or 3 months when this stuff's all over. All right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. If you're limited to not being able to do whatever that activity is now. You keep yourself emotionally happy and transmit hope. There's more of the putting good in, putting good out. We talked a little bit about it this morning, the mind-body connection. This could be a great time to really start working out if you're somebody who might not be as physically fit as you want to, because the more you work out, the more you will be pulled in a healthy lifestyle to then start sharpening your mind a little bit.
Yeah, and for me, I've been joking with people. Sue last night, I was looking for my phone. I said, honey, have you seen my phone?
Mhm.
And she said, no, have you looked in the box of Pop-Tarts? And that's a true story, by the way.
Oh, she's going right for the jugular.
Just for everybody's edification, yes, cherry Pop-Tarts are my favorite. The phone was not in the box of Pop-Tarts.
Good.
But the days that I work out, the days that I run or lift or both, I tend to eat better. And so there's momentum around it. And when I don't, I actually mentally say, all right, I didn't do that, so I'm a slug today. And
Yep.
so anyway, I'm learning a lot with my consciousness and awareness around this stuff right now.
It's almost like if I'm gonna really mess up, I'm gonna really mess up. So if I don't work out today,
Right.
let's order a pizza tonight. Or if I work out today, I'm gonna go home and eat a plant-based burger and broccoli.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
you're pulled in these directions of what you practice. So that's an extreme growth area. You show gratefulness and you're constantly now finding ways to adapt to change. All of this is change. We have to adapt to it. I can't go to a bar. I can't shake someone's hand. I can't give my grandparents a hug. I have to adapt to this new form of living. There's no other way. And I'm not the only one who's doing it. Everybody has to adapt to this change. So, and the last thing that I thought was extremely important was to practice calmness, patience, relationships, and creativity. I'm seeing all the time people creatively finding things to do throughout the day, so that they're not bored. Finding different recipes to cook, finding different home gym opportunities, whatever it may be. We're actually practicing creativity, which because of this environment, we might not have been doing that 3 months ago.
No, how easy was it to just sit in your phone all the time, right? Or go have somebody else give you entertainment. Well, now it's board games. Now it's card games. Now it's drawing. It's all kinds of different things that our awareness is being heightened of wow, I had somebody tell me they hadn't had dinner with their children at the dinner table for years.
Yeah.
And,
Which is sad.
which is sad.
Yeah.
I had somebody else tell me they're amazed at how much money they're saving right now because they're not going out to restaurants.
Yep.
So there's all these little, I think, benefits, if you will, of actually going through this.
Yes.
And new awareness, new consciousness
Yeah.
of the choices we've made in the past.
Just on last Friday, I was talking to my roommates, and I was like, you guys realize how we haven't gone out to eat, right? We've been forcing to be creative in our entertainment levels, our workout routines. All the food we eat is food we have bought and prepared.
Right.
I'm like, in a weird way, this forced us into being super aware now of the way we used to live. We go out on a Friday night to, maybe you go out to Pizza Hut or Chipotle and then you go out after. It's like, now we can't do that. Now we come home, we make ourselves some sort of dinner that we have bought and prepared, and then we play Jenga for 3 hours. It's like there's a totally different way of living. So to wrap everything up that we just kind of covered, there's the fear zone, the learning zone, and the growth zone. And depending upon those actions, that's how you can understand what zone you're currently living in.
Yeah.
And so we're constantly trying to live in this growth zone because it's extremely important to continually try to grow.
So you were mentioning off camera that the big question now is, why does it take the pandemic for us to think through this? And we were originally going to, at this point in the video, talk to you about how we are being successful some days by staying in the growth zone, staying in the learning zone, and other days going into the fear zone. And we're going to do that, but we're going to do that as part of our daily diamonds on Tuesday.
Yes.
So a 2 or 3 minute video from DJ on Tuesday, 2 or 3 minute video from me on Thursday, and it's going to talk about where we are in this model on a day-to-day basis. And I can tell you, for me, I'm not squarely in the growth zone. As much as I want to choose to be there every day, I don't stay there, unfortunately. I don't have the habit built strong enough. I end up going into the learning zone. I end up going back into the fear zone. And each of us will talk about that. I mean, you're having the same experience, right?
For individuals who are consciously trying to grow, especially in this time, whether it's in this time or not in this time, we always may drift back into fear.
Right.
We always may drift back into, hey, I might need to relearn this. I think I've been going at this the wrong way. But the important thing is to realize that you've gotten to that point, and now I need to somehow get back out of it. That's the important part. So we will go over that on Tuesday and Thursday, and thank you guys for tuning in today.
Yep, thank you very much.
We appreciate it.